morning, everybody. Welcome to Loch Briar Knits, episode 103. It is August 7th, and it is a sunny, extremely muggy day. So, great day for knitting. I have with me my cup of tea. This episode is an episode full of woe. First off, remember how I had said the lemon thriller tea was gone off the shelves, and then I was worried they had stopped making it. It was like the best tea ever because it's the only lemon tea I can find that's actually lemony. Like you taste the lemon, that's the high note, not all the other stuff they throw in there. So then it was back on the shelves, and I stocked up. I bought like, I think 3 boxes of it because I was afraid it was going to disappear again. And as it turns out, they changed the recipe. It now does not taste anything like lemon thriller, and I don't even like how it tastes. So they moved, I'm trying to remember, on the first one, I can't remember if it was the rose hip or the lemongrass that was the first ingredients, because if you read the ingredient list, you can usually get a sense of what the main note is, or the main ingredient is, and that flipped, and it's awful. It's awful. Like, it's not even good tea. So that really... So now I'm on a search for a good lemon tea, which I cannot find, and a new tea to drink. So this one is actually, and this is in my Little Shop Canada pottery mug, and hot, burning hot. It is the Lady Grey tea, which is, I think it's kind of like an Earl Grey. It may have some bergamot in it, I believe. I've had this one before, and if you've, I usually include a little tea sachet in with my orders when I send them out, and I've included this one quite a few times, so you may have gotten one if you ordered from me. But it's a really good tea. The only problem is that it is caffeinated, so in the evenings I cannot drink caffeinated tea. I could drink a cup of coffee and have like better results than drinking a caffeinated cup of tea. It will literally keep me up all night long, which I was pretty much up all night long last night. I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning, and that was it. I was up for the rest of the night. Who needs more than 3 hours of sleep a night? I don't. No. No. Although last night, for the first time in 2 years, I went out to dinner and got together with my writing friends, and it was wonderful. It was so good to see them again. And I mean, we've been emailing back and forth, so it's not like we've been completely out of touch, but it's just not the same. I like getting together, the 4 of them at a table, and just like laughing our butts off and hearing everybody's updates and stories and everything. So that was wonderful. That's the first time I've been out to dinner at a restaurant, I think, since before the pandemic. I think the last time the last time we would have gone out to dinner would have been for our first date anniversary, which is on February 8th. So we do that instead of Valentine's Day. So I think it would have been right after that we went into lockdown in 2019. Anyway, hi everybody. According to the name, this is a knitting podcast. So let's get to it. You know what? This is a really good tea. I love this tea. I forgot how much I love this tea. I haven't had it in a while. I really wish it was decaffeinated. If this was decaffeinated, it would totally be my go-to tea. So let's start in with the second tale of woe. So if you've watched the previous vlog, I was like motoring along with the Coastal Crop Raglan by Tiff Nealon. Love the pattern. Knitting it with Hypothesis yarn. Amazing yarn. Loved everything about it. Did not love that I made a stupid mistake. But then I realized that the stupid mistake I thought I made, by the way, I do have a tank top on underneath here. I feel like it's like really low cut, and it's just like, you won't be boob flashed, I swear. Promise. I thought I had made a mistake, and what I'm going to do is I filmed some footage of when I realized that I had made the mistake and my thought process on what I was going to do and why I was going to do it. And I will input this here so you can watch this, and then we'll come back to the now. Update on the Coastal Crop Raglan. I was motoring along. You can see I'm almost done the body, but I put that on hold for a minute because I was a little concerned that I was going to run out of yarn, which made no sense because I was using the yarn suggested in the pattern and I had enough. I had a little more than enough. So I couldn't figure out what the issue was. So I thought, just to be on the safe side, I'm going to put the body on hold and I'm going to do the sleeves next. But as I was starting, so this is the sleeve I haven't started. Here's the opening for the sleeve. It's really wide, and that is the same kind of issue that I had with the stowaway chevron, which then ended up the arms were too loose. And I thought, well, maybe what I'll do is I will just decrease kind of do a more aggressive decrease, but it still wasn't like decreasing enough. Like I'm almost at the wrist right now, and I kind of put my arm through this and it was still really loose. The problem was when I started the sleeve, I read the instructions. So it said go to the larger needle. And I was like, the larger needle? I'm already using the larger needle in the body. So then I went back to the start of the pattern and it said cast on with the 4mm and I cast on with the 5mm. So I have done the entire body in 5mm. So I basically went up 2 needle sizes, which would explain why I had such a lovely drape to it. I thought, okay, that may really cut into the amount of yarn I have left so that I don't have enough to do the length that I want. I knit the sleeve and I went, instead of going up to the larger size, I thought I'm gonna go down like half a size because it already looks like it's gonna be bigger than what I want it to be. So I went down from the 5mm that you were supposed to use to 4.5. It's still too big. There was part of me saying, whatever, just finish it and we'll see how it looks then. But here's the thing. Every time I do that, I end up not really liking the sweater as much as I should. And I love this pattern and I love this yarn. So I really want this to be a sweater that I can wear and that I want to wear. And the other thing I thought was also that I'd already kind of mucked up like the eyelet bit here originally. Like it just doesn't look right. Like I'm off kilter on it. And then the one over on this side had these 2 big eyelets, almost like with just one strand of yarn between them. And it just looks weird. What I have decided to do at, like 3/4 of the way through the sweater, I am going to unravel it all. And I'm just going to start again. And the good thing is it was a quick knit. Like this knit up fast. Now granted, I was using size 5mm instead of 4, so maybe that had something to do with it. But it was a really fast knit and it was an enjoyable knit. I'm going to take it, just unravel it completely and start fresh. So I used the wrong needle size. So ripped it all out, balled it all up, and thought, that's it. I'm gonna start all over again and do it right this time. The circled amounts were the ones from the first attempt. And the highlight amount is what I'm doing now. And here's why. You start off using the suggested smaller needle size, which was the 4mm. And as you'll see from past Kelly, is that I thought I had, I switched, I thought I had used the 5mm all the way through, and I wasn't supposed to. I was supposed to use the 4mm all the way through and then switch to the 5mm on the sleeves. So, which I thought was a little weird, having the sleeves be a larger needle than the body. But I was like, well, I'm not a knitwear designer, so okay. So then as I'm going through, because I did my measurements again, and I thought, because I felt like the sweater was gonna be too big, I thought I'm just gonna take my measurements again. So my bust size is 35. So if I was doing the medium, I really should have been doing the small because that gives me 3 inches of positive ease, which is all I need. I didn't want it to be kind of too loose and boxy. I just wanted it to be sort of fitted with a little bit of movement to it. So I thought, so I started knitting. I'm knitting with the 4mm needles. I'm kind of going through and I'm highlighting what I should be knitting this time around so that I don't get confused because the other things are circled from the previous version. But then I get to this section and you'll see it says, after you finish basically the collar, you switch to the larger size needle. So my knitting it in the 5mm was not wrong. So I didn't really have to rip it all out. But here's the thing. At first I thought, oh my God, I didn't have to do that. But then I thought, you know what? Yeah, you did. And here's why. I did have to take it all out because I still felt like it was too big. The armholes were they were like this. And I know I have big arms, but they're not that big. And when I put my arm through it, when I was trying to get a sense, it was really kind of loose and boxy. So apparently my arms aren't as big as I seem to think they are. I thought, I don't want like loose boxy. I like my sweater sleeves to be fitted without being tight, if that makes sense. Like I wanted to be able to move my arm without feeling like I'm stretching the yarn. I don't want it to be loose. Like I want it to be kind of against skin, I guess. Not this loose, but like, actually this is almost a good example. No, it's not. Okay, never mind. But kind of like this as opposed to like this. Have I given you enough examples? I thought technically this will actually give me the opportunity anyway to go back and fix the eyelets that I screwed up, do the side detailing, which I think I will do because I love the sweater and I wanted to knit the sweater as it was intended. I also reserve the option to change my mind on the side detailing when I get to that point. So we'll see. But I do want to fix up the eyelets and I think I will leave the eyelets in. Now, if I get like a couple rows into them and realize that I'm really mucking it up again and I'm just not understanding or grasping the concept of what she's saying, which is a little ridiculous because the pattern is very well written. I don't know what I did. I think I just wasn't paying attention on where I put the eyelet, or I did a yarn over when I shouldn't have. I don't know. But I am going to leave those in. And then it will also allow me to do it in a size that's actually the size I should have been making it, the small instead of the medium. So I did cast it back on this morning and I'm at the point now where I've switched to the 5mm again. But I am actually glad that the 5mm was the correct needle because I really liked the drape of it on the 5mm needle. So this will still have a nice drape to it. And then, yeah, so this is really all I have to show for my efforts. And here's why. And actually this is just the collar. So that's all I have. But I do have, I balled the yarn up right away as you saw in the last video. So you can see, even though it was kinky when I was taking it out of the sweater, it's been balled up for a few days now and it's not kinky. It's not kinky. My sweater is not kinky. That was my tale of woe. But I've never actually ripped a sweater out before and then with the intention of remaking it. I have ripped a sweater out before. I ripped out the ripped sweater because I could not get that neck man to work no matter what I did. I've taken out the big love sweater. That one I may go back to, I'm not sure. But this is the first one I've actually ripped out and I'm going back intentionally to knit again because I love it. Well, I was just letting that sit and marinate for a little while. I thought I was going to jump in and get started on the sweater my mom wants me to knit her for Christmas, which is the super simple summer sweater, which this is my 4th version. I talked all about the previous versions. I'll just link to that video here. I think it's here. I am doing the, actually I'll show you this one, the Super Simple Summer Sweater by Hoagie Locatelli, which I love. I love this pattern. I find it so meditative to knit. It's so simple. I am, however, knitting it in colors I don't personally like. So I thought that would kind of make it boring, but the meditative quality of this sweater is saving it, and it's going along, as that sweater often does, very quickly. So here's where I am. So this is, I'm making this for my mom. So I'm doing this in a size, I think it's the size large. So I'm going to have to remember, because when I did it for me, I think I did the small. So my stripes were a different count, like number of stripes, rows in each stripe. So, and I've done it for myself like 3 times. So I'm used to thinking you go this many numbers of rows. So I've got to remember for my mom, it's 2 more than what I would normally do. Now I am knitting this out of Bernat Softy Baby. So again, not my favorite kind of yarn. Big on the colors, definitely not my colors. I would look like death in that. The blue I could probably pull off. I don't mind the blue. It's kind of like a nice, almost a cornflower blue. The colors are, oh, this is like baby denims, and this is lemon. Yeah, so, and she gave me quite a few balls of each. And this is like a really economical yarn. She bought this many, many years ago. It's entirely possible she bought this yarn when we still lived in New Glasgow, which was 35 years ago. So I can't be that long. It can't be that long ago. She might have gotten it on sale at Michael's or Walmart or somewhere. But $3.67 a ball for this. And I have to say, it's fine to knit with. Like, it's just, I prefer the feel of a natural fiber in my hand, but it's not too bad. And I gotta tell you, the striping is really making it, even though I'm not like crazy on the colors, the striping is making it fun-ish. Those are basically the only 2 things. I think I did a little bit on my slow cheese sock, but not a whole lot. I think I did a little on, but I'm almost done. I really should just finish that off this weekend, but I get so much else on the go. Yeah, I'm literally probably about, I just have to go like, I'm not giving you the finger, that much further for me. So yeah, I'm almost at the point where I can do the toe. I love how these knit up. I love this color. This was Evie Knits, and the color was Ocean Mist. And this is in her MCN base, which I'm blanking on what she calls it, but it's the merino cashmere base she has. And it's very soft and very gushy. I'm pretty much 2 inches from being done. It's the good thing about having small feet. It doesn't take as long to make socks. So I put a little bit on that, and I really should finish that off this weekend. We have my father's birthday barbecue up at the house, and I think this is the first time the whole family's been together since before Christmas, maybe? It may have been before Christmas, because we didn't get to spend Christmas together, and I can't remember what we would have been together for since then, after restrictions opened. So yeah, this might be the first time the whole family is together in a while. In keeping with the 1 sweater a month for the remaining months of the year, I thought I was getting all cocky, because I'm like, look at me, I'm jumping ahead a little bit with the Coastal Crop Raglan, because I started like about a week, I think, before. So that got shot out of the water. Now I'm behind. I still think I can get one of those done before the end of August. So my plan is, I think what I will do is try to get 3 stripes done on my mom's sweater per month, and that will give me plenty of time to finish it in time for Christmas. And the sleeves are going to go by really fast. I'll be way ahead. I can probably do 2 stripes a month if I have to, of the body, and then I can do sleeve probably in a weekend, and then the other sleeve the other weekend. That's easy. I can do that. So I should still be able to get the mental thoughts out loud. So I should still be able to get the coastal crop raglan done by the end of August. So we'll give that a go. And that is all of the knitting. That's all I've been working on. So I am going, actually, I don't even have any acquisitions. I didn't even buy anything. Look at me go. Actually, I did buy something, but I think I talked about it on the vlog. So I'll leave that because no point repeating myself. So that is about it. What else is going on? I've gotten back to the gym, but I think I'm changing it up because I don't like going in the morning. The gym is by my work, but I go early in the morning because if I leave it a little later in the morning, it starts to get a bit crowded. So I was going over and then driving back and then changing and then driving them back to work, which is like just down the street from it. And it was just like, it was like back and forth and back and forth. And I'm putting a lot of miles in the car. So what I'm going to do is start going to the gym on my lunch hour, because here's the other thing. I was really getting into a good groove with my writing in the mornings because I was going down to the coffee shop for an hour and working down there with my latte. But I was only doing that like Monday and Wednesday and doing the gym Tuesday and Thursday. And then I was kind of leaving Friday free so I could have a morning to myself quietly. But I was loving being back in the coffee shop writing. So I thought I really want to do that in the mornings 4 days a week and really make more progress than what I can do in 2 days. So that's what I'm doing. And then I'll still leave one day optional if I want to have like an easy morning and do my like knitting in the morning and just kind of have an easy morning, coffee on the couch before I go to work. So I have a little less knitting time than I had previously, but I feel like this is a good balance. So starting next week, I'm going to start going to the gym 4 days a week. And then I'll take 1 day kind of as a rest day and mix it up. So that's the plan. That's the plan. That's all that's going on here. Went out to dinner, told you guys about that. My husband and I are both have our double vax, both over the 2 week period. So I think we're going to celebrate and go to our favorite restaurant. We may do that. Our vacation is coming up. My father-in-law has been back and forth as to when he's going to arrive and when he isn't. He did send an email saying he was going to arrive right before our vacation. And we had to remind him that he'd already said we could have a place for vacation. Can you please wait until following weekend? So he said, I think I can do that. I don't know what I think I can do that means. If he shows up on Wednesday midweek, I'm gonna be really pissed off because we really need a break and we can't travel anywhere. We did have a weekend away planned and we were putting the dog in the kennel for the first time, and we have this wonderful gentleman who does the kennel. But it's that we had her booked there, and he unfortunately has to have surgery, so he has to close the kennel, and he has to close the kennel during the time we had the weekend away. And we thought maybe we could just push the weekend away to our anniversary week vacation, which is the first week of October, but he's not able to reopen the kennels until after that. So this week in August is literally the only week we have to go somewhere and get away. So if that gets taken away, I think we may lose our minds. So we shall see. That's like mid-month. So not this weekend, but next weekend. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. So anyway, that is everything. I have not had breakfast yet and I am starving. So I'm going to get myself some breakfast and hopefully get this edited today and get it uploaded for the usual time. I've been uploading it for 7 a.m. on Sundays. So for any of you early risers, just so it's there kind of all day. So I've got to get on the stick and get this edited so I can do that and have it uploaded for early tomorrow morning and still get to the family barbecue. I will check in with you guys for a regular episode in 2 weeks, and there'll be a vlog coming next weekend. So until then, happy knitting, and I will see you soon. Bye!